Delighted to welcome back on the show. Always a pleasure to have him back on. Big fight coming up for him next week, July 28th in Calgary. It is returning guest of the show. Always a pleasure. Sporting his cool UFC hat, training outside. You're in New Jersey, Eddie. How are you, my friend? Good to have you back on as always.
We're home. I'm in PA. I'm in Pennsylvania, but out in Bucks County. But yeah, most of my camp's in Jersey, but I live in Pennsylvania. Today's a home workout.
Good stuff. Eddie, how are you? Obviously, a rematch with Dustin Poirier coming up next week. How are you feeling about this rematch? Obviously, it's something that you've done a lot in the past. Obviously, the Michael Chandler fights. Is the preparation maybe a little bit different for a rematch than it is for a new opponent?
I don't know, man. Every fight is different. You know, you feel different emotionally. Like every single fight is different. I feel rejuvenated. I don't know. The older I get, the less I try to think and the less I try to care. I think I've been guilty of caring too much in the past, and I think it sort of that caring so much affects your performance. So I think I've just let go of any kind of anything. I'm doing an interview. My son keeps interrupting me. Sorry. But the less I care, I think the better I do. I go in loose. I go in relaxed. I'm able to be creative, and I don't know. I think I do better that way under less tension.
How does Coach Mark feel about that that side of your game?
He absolutely hates it. It makes him crazy, but we're a good mix. I think I try to let the idea of any kind of thoughts go and just be a dog in there, and he's the total opposite. I allow him to think for me and to tell me things. So we try to mesh the two and make for the perfect fighter. So he hates that I'm like that, and I think we can't be totally me and we can't be totally him. We need to be somewhere in between, and that fights like the Gaethje fight and fights like that go on when we meet in the middle.
You're a guy, obviously, you know, we've talked about in the past here in the show with you before that, you know, as you said there, you know, you're at your most dangerous when you're backed into a corner. Is that a worry for you maybe going down the line about your health in the future, that you've been in so many wars?
No. I mean, look, where I'm from, I've already exceeded my expectations from where I grew up. So for me, this is all just winning. It's all winning. So a loss in the ring is very minute to me, considering where I was supposed to end up. So I'm very grateful. I'm very lucky to be in the position I'm in, and I'm happy, man.
We look at Dustin Poirier, and I've spoken to a few people about Dustin in the past, a few guys who've been in there against him. Did you feel, you know, obviously towards the end of that first fight, that maybe he was breaking? Did you feel that?
100%. I'm the most honest guy you're ever gonna have on this damn interview. And I know what I feel. I've been in, forget about fights in the octagon. I've been in way more street fights than I ever been in the octagon. I feel things inside of a cage. It's not just me being barbaric and whatever. Fighting is a feeling for me. And I know what I feel. I'm very honest with myself. And I felt a man's spirit breaking. And
at what point?
I think it was after the left hook, and I had him against the cage. I hit some really hard body shots. And once I got the takedown, you feel the energy zap. You feel the spirit go. There's no longer a fight left. And I don't think there was. I was an idiot. I was in a instinctive state of mind. I wasn't thinking. I'm just throwing knees, and it's a fight. Unfortunately, it got called a no contest. I was on my way to a victory, and it's a no contest. So we'll do it again. We'll hash it out. And regardless of what he believes or I believe, we're going to figure this shit out on the 28th. We have 1 week to go, and I couldn't be more ready.
You said it there a couple of moments ago, you know, you go in and it's, you know, you feel the opponents. Do you feel as though you need to implement maybe your wrestling a little bit more in this fight and maybe be a little bit more tactical than normal?
Yeah. Look, I want to be tactical. I never go in there and say, I want to get my face smashed up and I want to get hit in the head. I don't know why that happens, but I learned to embrace it. I don't know why. I try. I go in with the idea of not getting hurt and hurting my opponent, but it never seems to work that way. So I've learned to embrace it, and the crowd loves it. So I I don't know. I just let the fight be what it is, and you know, I try to make it enjoyable. When I enjoy myself inside the octagon, that's the ultimate goal, I think.
How do you look back on that fight now? Have you watched it back?
Yeah, I watched it back. I think, being completely honest, I may have fought the best fight for his style to beat me.
So you think you played into his hands in the first fight?
It was Dustin's fight to win, 100%. And I watched the fight. I watched the things I was doing. I was not doing anything that I should have done to win that fight. I should have lost. And he still couldn't finish me. So that makes me feel good going into the second fight, that was the best he could have done, and he didn't get me out of there. So I'm excited to go back, correct them little mistakes, and dominate this fight.
Do you feel that's been a problem for you in your career, what you've just said there? Executing a game plan and a rhythm.
Yeah, sometimes I think thought gets involved, you know. Sometimes thought and thinking gets involved, and I've been guilty of that 5 times in my career. I lost 5 times, and I've won 29. So every once in a while, the idea of thought gets in the way, and I don't know, for some reason I don't trust my instincts, and I start thinking and I lose. And I've assessed this, and I went over it in my head, and I correct the mistakes, and I win. I win almost every fight I fight.
So you look at it as a weapon almost.
It's a weapon. Yeah, it's a weapon.
Definitely. Listen, I want to ask you obviously about the whole title situation here. We obviously have Khabib as champion. First of all, is that a good thing for you that Khabib is champion?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a good thing, because it's going to be tough for me to get a fight back with Conor. I understand the path and the way I have to finish fights in order to work my way back there. I have to do something very dominant against all my opponents to work my way back to ever getting to fight him again. So if he still held the belt, I wouldn't have a chance at a world title shot again. I'd have to fight a lot of guys in front to do that. So beating the undefeated Russian, maybe taking on a guy like Nate Diaz who beat Conor, and doing it in a fashion that no one else has done it, beating them in a fashion no one's done it, that's important right now. That's important to me. So finishing my opponents and doing it dominantly will get me back to that road.
Is it crucial then you make a statement in this fight against Dustin Poirier to get back to that road and put yourself possibly in line to be next for Khabib Nurmagomedov?
Yeah, I want to go down as the greatest lightweight to do it. I've won every single world title in every organization I ever fought. And I've lost them as well. I've lost world titles as well. And it's just important to get back, to keep training, to trust myself, trust my instincts, my coaches, my teammates, and go back and compete at a high level. And I've been doing it for years, and I enjoy it.
We look back at the Al Iaquinta fight. Obviously, Al stepped in and beat like 4 or 5 different opponents in a week. You know, I think it's given a lot of people in the lightweight division a little bit more confidence that, you know, you can get out Khabib. He's not this unbeaten freak of a monster that people think he is. Did you see the holes that I saw in his game in that fight against Al Iaquinta?
I've seen a lot of defensive mistakes, a lot of when you enter against him, his weight on his back foot, his chin in the air, a lot of very bad defensive striking mistakes. And I've seen a one-dimensional sort of wrestler, single leg.
Yeah.
One single leg, that's it. I don't think, besides the stuff that was done on the cage, the couple things, I just seen out in the open, free range, a single leg shot. So I've fought against craftier wrestlers, and I've made a career out of beating a wrestler. So I understand the dynamic and how to fight them. So I think for sure I'm the best matchup for Khabib. And I'm not campaigning. I'm not selling the crowd bullshit. I am the best matchup for Khabib, considering the style that I fought with my whole career. I am.
Do you think, you know, there's obviously the talk of Conor and Khabib getting done first of all before anyone else gets an opportunity. Do you see that playing out? Do you see that happening? Because I think we need clarity again, really, in the division, because it's there's not much talk of any other fight for the title outside that one at the moment.
I think that's happening. I mean, if I had to give my honest opinion, I think that fight's going to happen. I think it should happen. They'll be able to clear up the division a little bit. Conor fight Khabib, and then see who comes out on top, and then whoever wins that will be the rightful champion.
Well, who comes out on top?
In that fight?
Yeah.
For me, it's a pick'em. It's an absolute pick'em. And
you're hoping Khabib though.
I would. For me,
yeah.
If Conor wins, I'd have to. My path to the title again, when I have to knock out Nate Diaz, show everyone I beat someone he beat. It's a difficult story to do. It makes it more difficult for me to get back to that belt. So if Khabib ends up winning, then for sure the story's there, So
what is it for Eddie Alvarez now? Is it is it the big fights? Is it getting back to that world title? You talked about Nate Diaz there. That's obviously a big high-profile fight. There's obviously the Khabib fight. They're all high-profile fights. But is it about the strap? Is it about the lucrative fights? Is that the legacy you want to be remembered by? Is it about taking on the best or having the championship or putting these big super fights on?
The absolute best matchups that fans want to see. I joined the UFC. No resume is better. Not a single. You name a lightweight who has
I agree.
back to back champion after champion, top 3 after top 3, like no one. And I try to find someone who's done it. No one. So not necessarily so concerned with the record and the things like that. I want to be remembered as when I fought the best guys in the world. The fights that fans wanted to see. And I'll know the truth at the end of this. I won't pad my record. When I'm done, I'll know the absolute truth. Whether I want to face the reality or not, I'll know the truth that I either won or lost against the best guys in the world.
What will we know on Sunday morning, Sunday week? What will the outcome be against Dustin Poirier? Is there going to be a statement made from Eddie Alvarez?
That I'm on my way to win back my world title that I lost. That'll be the statement. That, holy shit, not only is he not going away, this guy's coming back to win his world title. We're all in trouble.
What has Mark Henry been like in the build up to this fight? Obviously, Mark, we know Mark well here. He's a guy who likes his codes and stuff. Are you going to give Mark the night off on Saturday night?
No, I told Mark last fight to sit next to my wife and enjoy the show. But no, man. Look, I love Mark Henry. He honestly he's a different sort of coach, and he is the best coach in MMA. Caring, he lives and breathes this stuff. I don't know if he's been home in the last 5 weeks. Yeah. So I just think the mesh of me, I need him. He needs me as well. I think we learn from each other, and we're going to go out there and put on an amazing show.
I can't wait for the fight. Eddie, unfortunately, your beloved Tyrone GAA lost yesterday. Dublin got the better of them. I'm sorry about that one.
Rub that one in. I thought we were going to get out of here and escape. I knew you were going to want to rub that one in.
Eddie, listen, always a pleasure to catch up with you, my friend. I'm massively looking forward to the fight next weekend, and I'm sure we'll have you back on the show again soon. Do appreciate the time, my friend.
Thank you, Niall. Tune in July 28th, Calgary, baby.
Nice one, Eddie. Listen, thanks for the time, man, as always. Appreciate it.
See you guys.
I'll see you soon, bro. Cheers.